Right, good morning all. Welcome back to another episode for us to talk about some of the trending articles in the crypto news space. My name is John. I'd say let's get into things. It's going to be the weekend edition, so I just have 5 trending articles here for y'all because, weekends are a bit slower. Apparently all the journalists go home and spend time with their families or something dumb like that. Who knew? But hey, let's get into this. So, first up on the docket, I almost forgot. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, and links to these articles down in the description so you can check them out for yourself. Oof, silly me, almost forgot about that. All right, let's hop on in, talk about Litecoin. So the first Litecoin-Native Visa debit card is being launched. That's a bit of a mouthful. So it's being launched by Block Card Charlie Lee, who everyone in the crypto space should know, but I'll explain if you don't. He is the brain behind Litecoin. He told Cointelegraph that this is their second attempt at the endeavor, as the previous one had failed, stating they'd previously worked with LitePay on a debit card, but LitePay went out of business, so that kind of, obviously that didn't work out. He also drew a distinction between the Litecoin-Native debit card and other crypto cards that support the currency, because Litecoin is in the top 10. It is a fairly major one, so it's been included in other cards, but there are other crypto debit cards available today that support Litecoin, but they only support funding with Litecoin. This coin is natively Litecoin, so funds are kept in LTC until you swipe the card. So that is the key difference. They hold the funds as Litecoin themselves until you swipe the card, which is pretty interesting. I'm curious to see how this goes. I've never really owned much Litecoin. I've had some in the past and all that much. It has its reputation as the silver to Bitcoin's gold, and I think that's a well-earned one. It lets them. They're based heavily off of Bitcoin as a blockchain, but they're able to kind of do their own thing at times, as evidenced by Mimblewimble. And if the upgrades in Litecoin go swimmingly, then maybe Bitcoin can be looked at, since the code bases are so similar. So it's one of those things that it kind of helps in a lot of different aspects. I do like Litecoin. I just never really got excited enough to buy large amounts of it. On a lighter note, Lee also noted that there's no such thing as a Litecoin maximalist, stating, I don't think that even exists. Most Litecoiners support and hold Bitcoin as well. I do agree with it. So this debit card, users will be able to make deposits in 12 of the most popular cryptos, including all the major stable coins. According to Lee, approximately 300 users, not too many, but have signed up so far. Meanwhile, Litecoin has continuously stayed among the top 10 coins by market cap, and has one of the biggest followings on social media, which is absolutely true. Charlie Lee is a pretty popular dude. Litecoin did bear some brunt of it when he divested himself from Litecoin. I don't think that meant he was leaving, just that, he was probably tired of watching his money go up and down, up and down, up and down. So by, getting out of that game, as it were, it enables him to live a bit more comfortably and focus on projects he wants to focus on, which Litecoin seems to be one of them. But no, this is good news for you Litecoin holders out there. Not gonna see a huge price point from this with only 300 users signed up, but it's something that can grow with time. Not everything is going to be explosive and massive for such a settled coin that Litecoin is comparatively. I know nothing is truly settled in the crypto space, but compared to, say, YAM, some of those other DeFi projects that have only launched in the past year or so, Litecoin is like a grandpa in the space. But it's definitely interesting a thing. If you do love Litecoin, I'd check out this debit card thing. My guess is that's probably why they're doing this push to websites like this, so they can get it trending and get people like me to talk about it. But all right, let's hop on over and touch on MetaMask. So MetaMask, it's a popular web app for all them lovely Ethereum tokens that you hold. It's used in conjunction with a lot of different DeFi projects. It's got quite a large amount of users. But they announced a significant code change, and this change could actually break some dapps if it's not fixed. But MetaMask is saying users will get faster and more reliable. Now, don't all y'all go jumping on the crazy pitchfork bandwagon just yet. This article is not as bad as it makes it seem. So, MetaMask is one of the most popular Ethereum wallets, counting for more than 1 million users between its mobile app and browser extensions. On Friday, it announced some big changes coming later this year that will make the service safer. So come November 16th, that's right, almost, pretty much exactly 2 months from now, MetaMask will no longer inject the Web3.js API. That's some real technical speak there. So the primary reason for this is that the currently implemented version is no longer being fixed or updated, and it's missing some safety validation. So they're like, yeah, it's not really secure anymore. Well, not that it's not secure, but just that it's an older version and it's not up to snuff. So, yeah. The team considered upgrading to a newer version of the API, but that would potentially break some other implementations. But that an upcoming version of Web3.js is also planned to be a breaking upgrade. So, there's the whole thing where if we upgrade this, it's going to break some APIs, but then the upgrade we could upgrade to, they're also saying it could break things. So that's 2 different ways that we could break yo stuff. So rather than potentially break dapps twice and cause an even larger headache for developers that use MetaMask, the team will just jump right ahead to removing it altogether. I mean, if it's not necessary for what you're doing anymore, or it's one of those things that was added in the first place because you thought it was going to be a bigger deal and it turns out that it's not, it makes sense to remove it. It eliminates a security headache and eliminates upgrade headaches like this. So you pull the band-aid off and you don't have to do it again, essentially. However, they did note the change will likely break some of the current Dapp implementations, which is why they've announced the decision 3 months in advance, 2 months in advance. It's August. August, September, October. Oh no, November is the 11th month. Dear Lord, it is about 3 months in advance. Provide documentation on how to make the needed changes. So it looks like they're going to be fully supporting all the dapps that are integrated with them, which makes sense. That's the type of user experience you want. Given this priority, the most actively supported projects that use MetaMask should have plenty of time to implement the changes. However, older dapps that don't update or don't have dedicated teams could lose, MetaMask when November 16th rolls around. So that's something to keep an eye on if you're one of my listeners out there that uses some weird old outdated Dapp with MetaMask. They're working on it. Oh, looks like MetaMask is quite possibly going to be launching on iOS, so Apple devices here soon, which would be awesome. That's a whole half of the market that you're missing out on by not having it. But MetaMask is continuing to work on things and upgrade them. It's not that big of a deal, quite honestly. The headline makes it seem kind of scary, but that's what clickbait is, baby. We gotta do the thing, play the game, all that fun stuff. But yeah, no, good on them. All right. Well, hey, let's hop on over and talk about Grayscale again. I know. So, Grayscale has collected more than $217 million in a single week in digital asset trust investments. You guys know very well it's purchased huge amounts of cryptocurrencies. And their recent TV advertising campaign could be bringing in new investors. I don't know about that. So, I don't know if you guys have seen Grayscale's ad, but I'm not going to play it. It's incredibly loud, incredibly obnoxious, and it doesn't even say the word Bitcoin, but whatever. So this investment firm has had a blockbuster week following this TV advert campaign. CEO Barry Seibert tweeted on Friday that this firm has taken in the above mentioned $217 million in a week, the most it's ever done in a single week. So this blowout comes after Grayscale began broadcasting TV ads tracking the evolution of money into the age of digital currency. It's also just one day after rival crypto investment firm Galaxy Digital published a full-page ad in the Financial Times that just says, "Now is the time to invest in Bitcoin." I do like that ad. It's big, it's bold, it says Bitcoin in it. I wish they had capitalized Bitcoin, personally, but whatever. I do like it. Like this ad that Grayscale put out, it just adds, the ads were on like CNBC, MSNBC, Fox Business. So the type of consumer watching it is more likely to look into Grayscale, or at the very least they Googled Grayscale because they were like, what in the world did I just watch? So maybe it's one of those things, it's so weird, it's so bad that it actually drives people to look it up. Maybe they were going for the clickbaity route, but I know that myself and most people in the crypto space were looking for more of an informative commercial. But we are not marketing VPs, so we don't get to make those choices. But we could see how this ends up playing out. Still don't like the ad. Still think my review of it being kind of meh was spot on. But if it is driving people to buy into Grayscale, it's success for them. So, but it's just more proof that the race to capture new crypto investors is on and is being pushed into new territory by Galaxy Digital, Grayscale, and the like. Its biggest driver for growth this year has been good old Ethereum. The firm bought up as much as half of all Ethereum minted during parts of the first half of the year. Dear Lord. 36 of the inflows have taken place in the second quarter of 2019. They opened up the fund in January of 2018. So most stuff has come between April and now. In fact, Grayscale has about $375 million in the Ethereum fund. Dear Lord. And it reported overall investment inflows of more than $900 million in the second quarter. They have billions of dollars all locked up in these different crypto asset trusts. It is insanity, and they're buying all this stuff over the counter. Is kind of what I want to be really clear on, and that's why you're not seeing massive upticks on any exchanges. Because Grayscale's not just going on Binance and buying at a call. No, they're doing over-the-counter purchases. They're buying up in minuscule trades across large things. Like, one of these days, people are going to look around and just be like, I can't buy Bitcoin. I can't buy Ethereum. And it's going to be because Grayscale has bought pretty much all of it. That's going to send people into a panic. And that's going to make prices, dear Lord, skyrocket in ways we have never ever seen before. I'm a firm believer in that. But again, this is for entertainment purposes. I'm just doing this because I love talking about crypto. And apparently there's a few people out there who enjoy listening to me talk about crypto. Hi to all y'all. Appreciate it. But hey, all right, let's hop in then. Talk about the U.S. Postal Service. All right, so the U.S. Postal Service is proposing a blockchain-based mail-in voting system. So I'm going to probably get just a teensy bit political on this one. I do apologize in advance, but still pretty interesting how the United States Postal Service is putting out patents. So the U.S. Postal Service patent application details a blockchain-based mail-in voting system. One model would see voters scan a mailed ballot with a smartphone, then vote digitally. Various blockchain-enabled approaches are detailed in the patent application. It's a precarious time for the United States Postal Service. Under Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, the independent government agency has implemented drastic cost-cutting measures that are likely to slow mail service in the months ahead. They're literally removing mailboxes and sorting machines. There's a lot of controversy going on in the United States right now because this November's presidential election, taking place during a pandemic, means that mail-in voting will be critical for many Americans to cast their ballots this fall. However, President Trump has repeatedly railed against the idea of mail voting, branding it as a process rife with potential for fraud. Despite his own history of voting by mail and personal request for a 2020 vote-by-mail ballot, there's also the small fact that no credible person, news organization, research institute, independent investigating agency, or anyone has ever come up with any evidence of large-scale voter fraud. Zero. None. Nada. And in a crypto space where everything is based on data and what you can see and technical analysis, there is nothing to be seen to suggest what he is suggesting. Cool? Cool. So, one solution for a secure mail-in voting system, which honestly we don't really need because there is none. Like, there's no fraud. There's no large-scale voter fraud. But one way to eliminate and silence critics is blockchain. So they published this patent application, which was originally filed on February the 7th from the United States Postal Service, that outlines potential vote-by-mail systems that could be supported and secured by blockchain tech. Basically, in short, they see the potential in it, but they don't seem quite ready to bring it to life, which makes sense to me. Look, the Postal Service has been hemorrhaging money since 2006, since Congress passed a law that hampered its ability to charge market competing prices. But I digress. There's definitely a good way to think about this. I'm all for voting on the blockchain. I think it'd be really cool, especially once we get to the point that we have like real ID verified on blockchain type systems. Cardano's working on one. I believe it's called Prism. Right now there's a few other, I think VeChain's got something in the works as well. But once we get to that point, we won't even need to mail in voting ballots. We'll be able to vote from our smartphones after verifying our identity using our credentials on the blockchain. And that's going to be quite the thing to see. The U.S. Postal Service's patent, it's a stopgap. There's a lot of controversy going down in the U.S. right now in regards to the Postal Service, Black Lives Matter, the pandemic. It truly is a crazy year, but not as crazy as it is over in good old Belarus. That brings us to article number 5. There are massive protests in Belarus right now after a controversial election saw President Alexander Lukashenko, also known as Europe's last dictator, extend his mandate. I believe he's claiming he got 80% of the vote, which that might not be true. Questions arose on how Belarus could deal with potential U.S. and EU sanctions, how cryptos such as Bitcoin and Ethereum could help bypass them. The key word is could. I know people have talked about it a lot, that they're worried that other Russia and this and that and and all these other Russia, North Korea, and China will be able to evade sanctions using crypto. The truth is a little more complicated than just saying that they can do it. So we'll kind of get into that here. My thoughts go out to anyone in Belarus. I actually have a personal friend. She fled Belarus and came here with a large portion of her family for these exact reasons. So in an article published by Russian outlet RBC, they suggested that using cryptocurrencies could not be an effective option for the Belarusian government to beat the financial sanctions imposed. I agree with this. The reason is, as soon as you identify, which countries are very good at identifying, where the currency is coming from. So let's say Belarus has been stockpiling Bitcoin. Cool. What address? Because that's publicly available on the blockchain. All you got to do is figure that out, and then you just blacklist that Bitcoin address. They swap it into another currency, just blacklist that address, and it just keeps going. It's something that you can do it. You can use, CoinJoin and other things like mix up the coins. You can convert them between multiple different cryptos and try to get around it. It'll just be a long game of cat and mouse that ultimately, I think personally, is just self-defeating, because eventually they'll lock down enough that you'll literally be employing 100 people full-time to just create new MetaMasks, new Bitcoin wallets, and all that stuff, and just going through. But hey. Valery Petrov, Vice President of Market Development and Regulation for the Russian Association of the Crypto Industry and Blockchain, said in the article that the usage of cryptos is a realistic option to escape from sanction. However, he clarifies this is possible only if it does not contradict external and internal legislation. There you go. All you got to do is pass a law to make it illegal, and then you can start blacklisting. So in May, Belarusian authorities said that they consider digital technology a top priority. and are preparing a digital economy resolution for the OSCE session in Berlin. Yeah, we'll see. Petrov pointed to Venezuela and Iran's case, saying that the use of cryptos to deal with economic crises or circumvent sanctions proves that cryptocurrencies are only a palliative solution. It helps, but it's just a band-aid. It's not going to fix it. It's not going to make it go away. It simply treats some of the symptoms so you can live with it. And there's already plenty other ways that you can treat the symptoms of sanctions to live with them. So it's already a little political there in that back half, and just not a lot going on in the crypto space right now. Let's hop on over and take a look at CoinMarketCap so we can round things out. Bitcoin up by 0.75%. Ethereum's up by just over %. Chainlink once again just burning. $18.94, up 13.46% on the day. XRP and Tether pretty flat as you would expect. Tether especially. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV are both pretty flat. Litecoin's up by 1%. Cardano's down by 1%. And Binance Coin is relatively flat. Let's take a look at the top 20. Let's see. Ooh, VeChain fell out of the top 20. That stinks for them. IOTA popped on in, though. Good for them, up 8%. Otherwise, nothing too crazy. Tezos is up 4%, still well over $4. Good for them. EOS is up 7%. Not too bad. Yeah, it's pretty muted day. Good old Synthetics up 27%. Good for them. Pretty muted day as far as things are concerned. I hope all y'all are staying safe out there. We got a lot of craziness going on in the world right now, both if you're in the United States, at home, and abroad. If you don't live in Belarus, Venezuela, Lebanon, or any other country that's being crazily affected by political instability, financial turmoil, or viruses. So, happy 2020, y'all. Stay safe, and I should be back in to talk to y'all tomorrow. Well, no, I got a baby shower tomorrow, so we'll see. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. Enjoy. But before I go, as always, make sure to subscribe. Thanks to all those who have done so, and check out the link down in the description so you can get all the juicy details.